Hello everyone and welcome to my Lego room. I'm TJ the Brickwright and today is a very important day because it is the day that I am announcing the next contest here in my Lego room and on my YouTube channel. That contest has to do with the sequel trilogy of Star Wars. As a lot of the contests and a lot of my builds have been recently, I've been thinking about what we are missing in the sequel trilogy. And the number one thing that I think we were lacking is ships. I mean, the story was great. Rey is obviously the best Skywalker, but the ships were really the part that bugged me. And just copying old ships, as I've mentioned before, if you've watched any of my other videos, copying old ships, while it has uses and can be useful in certain cases to give the audience a feeling of nostalgia and going back to the roots of Star Wars, it also detracts a little bit and becomes a little lackluster and just is a mild redux, as I've heard other people put it, of the original trilogy ships. So, for the foreseeable future, we're going to be having some contests for ships in the sequel trilogy. As you know, I have been building a lot of bad guy ships for the First Order and Final Order, as I call them. And I think they're actually officially called that. But one thing I'm not very good at is rebel ships. And a particular ship that I struggle to make any modifications or changes on is the X-Wing. The New Republic has T-85 X-Wings, which are pretty cool looking. If you've watched Star Wars Resistance, you will have seen those in play. The T-70 X-Wings are the ones that the Resistance uses, the one that Poe Dameron flies, and the one that we see predominantly in the sequel trilogy is a T-70, which is only about 5 increments higher or more advanced than the T-65, which is what they actually ran in the original trilogy. All right, that's enough talking. Let's get to the contest. We are going to be designing a New Republic Starfighter. Now, this fighter has some parameters that have to go along with it. This is meant to replace the X-Wing for the New Republic. So they don't want to use X-Wings anymore. They're done. They're gone. Just as the ARC 170 was the precursor to the X-Wing, the new one that we are going to be designing needs to replace the X-Wing. It can have some similar characteristics, but it can't be just, a mild redux of the original trilogy X-Wings. So we're looking for a New Republic fighter. It needs to be a small, multi-role fighter, and I will let you decide what the extra role is. Usually a multi-role fighter can either carry like torpedoes or missiles or bombs, or has ion cannons, as well as, fighter-to-fighter weapons or fighter-to-ground weapons. Now, one interesting parameter about this one is I don't want it to have a hyperdrive. One of the purposes of the Rebels having hyperdrives, and even the Resistance in the sequel trilogy, was their ability and their need to be able to jump in with a hyperdrive, take out a target, and then jump away. A lot of hit and run tactics. The New Republic isn't all about that. They're actually going to be taking a little bit of doctrine from the Empire and a little bit from the Rebels and kind of combining it together and creating a new effective peacekeeping force. So they're not going to need hyperdrives. So just remember that when you're designing your ship. I would like to see some X-Wing inspired components. So something about your ship is a little reminiscent of the X-Wing. And I'll let you decide whatever aspect of the X-Wing you want to bring into your new ship. But we need to see some sort of evolution, some sort of callback to an X-Wing in some way. It could just be the very front of the engines, or even just one engine if you want. But we also don't want any copies. We don't want it to be an exact copy of that. And then the last element that I'm going to bring up at this moment is that the ship needs to have some sort of a transforming or moving aspect to the ship. The reason we want to do that is just like the ARC 170 was the precursor to the X-Wing and had those opening wings. We want this new ship to have some sort of transforming mechanism. It was so exciting when the X-Wings would say lock S foils in attack positions and the wings would open up. it was really exciting when you're watching the movie. I want you to come up with something that would be exciting for your ship to do. Some sort of a transforming piece or moving parts that are like the S-foils in attack position. Not necessarily S-foils. Obviously, I do need to be specific. I've learned people get confused sometimes. It doesn't have to be an S-foil thing, but something that can transform or change or open up on the ship that would be something exciting for somebody to watch. All right, so here are the nitty-gritty rules. So number one, no existing ships. Can't be a ship that already exists in Star Wars, in canon, in any kind of Star Wars media. We don't want anything that exists. I am 100% allowing ships that are based on concept art, but I would love to see a new spin on it rather than just a copy of concept art. But hey, I'm guilty of it too. I've got some ships right up here that are basically interpretations of concept art that were done. So I'm totally on board for that. It needs to be your own work. Don't copy somebody else's work. Submissions are going to need to be in photograph form to my email, tjscontests@gmail.com. You can upload them to a Google Drive if the pictures are too big to send it. But in the end, I really want everybody to send their 5 best pictures for me to look at and to share with everybody else. The contest is running from today, March 4th, 2023 to April 29th, 2023, at which point we will have 1 week of voting as we have in contests past. So again, your deadline to complete this ship is just a little bit under 2 months, but it's still 8 weeks. So I think that should be plenty of time for people to build things. The ships need to be physical builds. We are not going to be doing digital builds. We've got 2 months to work on this, which is more than enough time for people to build it. If you want to build it digitally, that's fine, and then transfer it to physical form and make any parts orders, or I want to see real things. I think that'd be awesome. And I think that's some of our best contests have been real life ones. For anyone who has won a contest on my YouTube channel before, you are going to be entering into a specific bracket, which is known as the Parseval bracket, because Parseval won so many contests that we had to give him his own bracket on the side. And so anyone who has previously won first place, I think, in a contest here on the YouTube channel will be totally able to compete, but they will be in their own separate bracket and competing against other winners. So now I bet you're wondering about what the prizes are for this contest. There are actually $100 in LEGO gift cards up for grabs in this contest. We're going to do something a little bit different, and I know it's going to bristle a lot of people, but this is what we're doing. So we are going to do, for the first place winner, is going to get a $25 gift card for LEGO or Lego.com, either in-store or online, your choice. Second place winner is also going to get a $25 gift card. And in this contest, and maybe only this contest, we are going to have the first and second place winners join the Parseval bracket going forward. There's also going to be a third winner in the Parseval bracket who is also going to receive a $25 gift card. So that'll be exciting. And then there's one more prize, also a $25 gift card, because that is a good prize that I have easy access to. That is going to go to a random entry for the contest. So thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the rules and the announcement for the contest. I hope you guys are going to have a fantastic time as we see the builds that roll in over the next few weeks and seeing the incredible creativity that is out there in the world and what you guys can come up with. So thank you so much for stopping by. I'm really looking forward to this contest, and we will catch you next time in the LEGO room. And until then, play well.